My beloved child, sit still for a moment, not because the world has stopped demanding your attention, but because I need you to see something that all your rushing has caused you to miss. You have been asking why everything takes so long, why the prayer you prayed 3 years ago still looks unanswered, why the door you have been knocking on refuses to swing open, why others seem to move ahead while you remain in the same place, watching, waiting, wondering if you've been forgotten. I understand your frustration. I am not angry at your questions. I am not offended by your doubt. But I need you to hear something that will save you from years of unnecessary pain. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. Not because I am slow. Not because I am distracted with other people's problems. Not because your prayer is less important than someone else's. But because the thing I am forming inside you is so complex, so weighty, so unlike anything you have carried before, that if I release it too early, it would break you instead of bless you. Listen to me carefully. This is the part most people never understand. When a skyscraper is being built, the first year looks like nothing is happening. Digging, testing, pouring concrete deep underground where no one can see. Tourists walk past and say, nothing is here yet. But the engineer knows the foundation is the most important part. If the foundation is rushed, the entire building will collapse when the wind comes. You are my skyscraper. What you call delay is actually depth. What you call silence is actually strengthening. What you call abandonment is actually the most careful attention being paid to every detail of your soul. The plans of the Lord stand firm forever, the purposes of his heart through all generations. Psalm 33, verse 11. Do you know what happens when a tree grows too fast? It becomes weak. Its roots stay shallow. The first strong wind blows and it falls. But a tree that grows slowly, its roots dig deep. It searches for water far below the surface. It becomes unshakable. Research from forest ecology shows that slow-growing trees develop denser wood and more extensive root systems. A study published in Nature found that trees subjected to moderate stress during early growth developed 40% stronger structural integrity than trees grown in perfect, fast conditions. I am not growing you in a greenhouse. I am growing you in the wild, because a greenhouse tree cannot survive the storm, but a wild tree, it becomes a refuge for others. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. You look at your age, you count the years, you measure yourself against people who started after you and somehow finished before you, and your heart grows heavy with comparison. You think you are behind, but you are measuring the wrong thing. You are measuring time. I am measuring substance. You are measuring speed. I am measuring strength. You are measuring what the world can see. I am building what the world cannot destroy. For I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. Let me tell you something that will change how you see your waiting. When a blacksmith forges a blade, the metal must be heated and hammered, over and over again. The process is not fast. It is not gentle. The metal screams in the fire. It resists the hammer. But the blacksmith does not stop. Not because he hates the metal, but because he knows that if he stops too soon, the blade will be brittle. The first time it strikes something hard, it will shatter. I am the blacksmith. You are the blade. Every heat you have felt was not punishment. It was preparation. Every hammer strike was not rejection. It was reshaping. And when I am finished, you will not break when you strike the enemy. You will cut through. Have you ever wondered why the most powerful people you know almost always have the most painful stories? It is not a coincidence. It is a law of the kingdom. Psychologists call it post-traumatic growth. Studies show that approximately 70% of people who experience significant adversity report at least one area of positive growth afterward. Not despite the pain. Because of it. The struggle rewires the brain for resilience, empathy, and wisdom that cannot be learned in comfort. You are not broken. You are being wired for something extraordinary. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. James 1:2-4. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. If this message is reaching a place in your heart that no one else has touched, if you feel even the smallest flicker of hope returning, then I want you to do something right now. Subscribe to this channel. Not because I need your subscription, but because you need to remind yourself that you are choosing to stay in this place of hope. Your thumb pressing that button is a declaration. I am not giving up. I am staying for the rest of this message. I am staying for what God is building in me. Go ahead, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss the next message that will carry you further down this road. Now, let me take you deeper. You have been asking me to show you the whole mountain, but you are not ready to see it yet. Not because I am hiding it from you, but because if you saw how high you are about to climb, you would be too overwhelmed to take the first step. I show you only what you can handle today. Tomorrow, I will show you more. This is how trust is built, not by knowing everything, but by knowing the one who knows everything. Listen carefully. This is where many people make a devastating mistake. They try to rush the process. They see others succeeding and they panic. They take shortcuts. They compromise their integrity. They step into doors I never opened because they are tired of waiting for the ones I am still building. And then they wonder why everything fell apart. My child, a rushed blessing is a cursed blessing. If you push your way into something before I have prepared you for it, you will find yourself standing in a room you cannot handle. The pressure will be too much. The responsibility will crush you. The attention will corrupt you. I am not keeping you out to hurt you. I am keeping you out until you are strong enough to stay in. Whoever is faithful with very little will also be faithful with much. Luke 16:10. The human brain's prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and long-term planning, does not fully develop until the age of 25. Nature itself builds slowly. The most complex system in the known universe takes decades to mature. Do you think I would be less careful with your spirit than nature is with your brain? Do you know how long it took to build the great cathedrals of Europe? 100 years, 200 years, sometimes 300 years. Generations of builders started work that they knew they would never see finished. They laid stones for grandchildren they would never meet. Why? Because they understood something you have forgotten. What is worth building takes time. What is eternal cannot be assembled in a day. You are my cathedral, and I am not rushing you. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. The Grand Canyon was not created by a flood. It was created by a river, a slow, steady, persistent river that carved rock over millions of years. A flood destroys. A river creates. You've been asking for a flood. I am giving you a river. The flood would wash away everything in its path, including the things you need to keep. The river, though slow, carves something permanent, something beautiful, something that will stand for generations. Stop asking me to flood your life. Start trusting the river. I need you to hear what I am about to say. Do not let your mind wander. Some of the doors you are pounding on were never meant for you, not because you are unworthy, but because they would lead you away from the thing I am building. You see a closed door as rejection. I see it as redirection. You see delay as punishment. I see it as protection. You see silence as abandonment. I see it as the only way you will ever learn to listen. My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Isaiah 55 verses 8-9. Think of it this way. When your GPS reroutes you, you do not scream at it. You do not assume it is trying to hurt you. You trust that it sees something you cannot see. An accident ahead, a road closure, a faster path you did not know existed. I am your GPS, and I am rerouting you. The delay you are experiencing is not a denial. It is a detour, and the detour is leading you to something better than what you were originally asking for. Have you ever received something you prayed for, only to realize it was not what you actually needed? Of course you have. We all have. Because you do not know what you do not know. You ask for things based on your limited view. I answer based on my unlimited view. Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes the answer is wait. Sometimes the answer is, I have something better. The wait is not emptiness. The wait is the space where I am preparing you to receive the better thing. A longitudinal study from Harvard University spanning 80 years found that the single greatest predictor of life satisfaction was not wealth, not fame, not intelligence. It was the ability to delay gratification. The people who could wait, who could tolerate discomfort for a future reward, were the ones who flourished. You are learning the most important skill of your life right now. Do not waste this season. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. A seed does not see its own growth. It sits in darkness, surrounded by soil, and feels nothing changing. Day after day, week after week, sometimes for an entire season. Above ground, nothing is happening. Any observer would say the seed is dead. But below ground, everything is happening. The seed is cracking open. The first root is reaching down. The first shoot is reaching up. But the soil hides all of it until the exact moment when the plant is strong enough to break through. You are that seed. You feel like nothing is happening. You feel like you are buried. You feel like the darkness will never end. But the darkness is where growth happens. The soil is not your enemy. The soil is your teacher. Very truly, I tell you, unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. John 12:24. Listen to me. This next part is crucial. The caterpillar does not become a butterfly by trying harder. It does not struggle against cocoon. It does not demand to be released early. It waits. And in the waiting, its entire body dissolves into liquid. Every cell reorganizes. It becomes something completely different. Something that can fly. If you break the cocoon too early, you kill the butterfly. It emerges weak, wet, unable to survive. You are in the cocoon. I know it is dark. I know it is tight. I know you cannot see what you are becoming, but I can see it, and I will not let you out until you are ready to fly. Do you trust me enough to stay in the cocoon? The moment will come. The breaking point will arrive, and you will emerge, not as the same creature that entered, but as something new, something beautiful, something that belongs in the air, not crawling on the ground. But the emergence cannot be rushed. The wings need time to dry. The muscles need time to strengthen. Do not be afraid of the cocoon. It is not a prison. It is a womb. And what is being born in you will astonish you. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. You have been watching the clock. I have been watching the purpose. You count the seconds. I count the character. You ask, how much longer? I ask, how much stronger? The clock you are watching is not my clock. My clock does not measure time. My clock measures readiness. And you are not ready yet. I know that is hard to hear. I know you wanted me to say, tomorrow, next week, very soon. But I will not lie to you. The truth is, you are not ready. Not because you are failing, but because you are still growing. And the growth cannot be rushed. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. In crystallography, the formation of a diamond requires extreme heat and extreme pressure over millions of years. Carbon atoms slowly arrange themselves into the hardest natural substance on Earth. If you rush the process, you get graphite, useful for pencils, not for diamonds. I am not making you a pencil. I am making you a diamond. The diamond does not shine when it is pulled from the earth. It looks like a dull rock. No one stops to admire it. But the jeweler sees what is inside. The jeweler knows that under the rough surface, there is something priceless. And so the jeweler cuts. The jeweler grinds. The jeweler polishes. It is not a fast process. It is painstaking. It is precise. And when the diamond is finished, it reflects light in ways that ordinary stones cannot. You are my diamond. The pressure you feel is not punishment. It is polishing. Stay with me. What I am about to say will change how you see your entire journey. One day, you will look back at this season and thank me for it. Not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. You will see that every delay was protection. Every closed door was a redirection. Every night of tears was watering a harvest you could not yet see. And you will understand that if I had answered your prayer when you first asked, you would have received something small. But because I waited, because I built, because I refused to rush, you will receive something great. The size of your blessing is directly connected to the length of your preparation. Do not despise the preparation. It is the proof that your blessing is large. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. You see yourself as an adult, but I see you as my child. And a child does not know how to walk the first time they try. They fall, they cry, they reach up for their father's hand. I am not embarrassed by your falling. I am not impatient with your stumbling. I am not disappointed that you cannot run yet. I am proud that you keep trying. Every time you fall and get back up, something is being built in you. Resilience, persistence, faith. These things cannot be taught in a classroom. They can only be forged in the fire of repeated failure and repeated getting back up. Though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. Proverbs 24 verse 16. Do you know why I am not in a hurry? Because I am eternal. I have all the time in the world, and I love you too much to give you something that will hurt you. If you were a stranger to me, I might rush. I might give you what you want so you would stop asking. I might not care if it destroys you. But you are not a stranger. You are my child, and I will not give you a snake when you ask for a fish. I will not give you a stone when you ask for bread. I will give you what is good, and what is good takes time. Listen to me carefully. This is a part you need to write on your heart. The thing you are waiting for is not late. It is arriving exactly when it should. Not when the clock says, not when your impatience demands, but when the purpose is complete. When the foundation is fully set, when the cocoon has done its work. And on that day, you will not say, finally, God answered. You will say, now I understand why I had to wait. The understanding will be part of the gift. The wisdom you gain in the waiting will be worth more than the thing you were waiting for. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. You compare your journey to others. You look at their success, their speed, their ease, and you wonder why you are different. But you do not see what I see. You do not see the foundation they are missing, the character they skipped, the crash that is coming because they built too fast. I am not building them. I am building you. And your building is different. Some buildings are meant to be one story. They can be built quickly, a month, maybe 2. Other buildings are meant to be 100 stories. They take years, sometimes decades. The foundation alone takes longer than the entire construction of the smaller building. Do not envy the one-story building. You are a skyscraper, and skyscrapers take time. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Proverbs 27 verse 1. The Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, took over 6 years to build, but the foundation work alone took more than a year. The team drilled 194 concrete piles, each nearly 50 meters deep, to ensure the building could withstand wind, earthquakes, and pressure. You are my Burj Khalifa, and I am still drilling your foundation. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. You cannot go back and start earlier. You cannot change the years that have passed. You cannot undo the delays, the mistakes, the seasons that felt like wasted time. But you can stop wasting today by wishing for a different past. The tree that was planted 20 years ago is fully grown. You cannot replicate that in a day. But the tree you plant today will be fully grown 20 years from now. And someone, maybe your children, maybe your grandchildren, maybe a stranger you will never meet, will sit in its shade and be grateful that you planted it when you did. Do not despise the planting season. The planting season is the most important season. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. You are closer than you think. Not close in the way the clock measures, but close in the way readiness measures. The foundation is nearly set. The roots are nearly deep enough. The cocoon is nearly ready to break. I can see it, even if you cannot. You look at your life and see only what is missing. I look at your life and see what is almost finished. Do not give up in the final minutes of the process. That is when most people quit, when the pain is greatest, when the waiting is longest, when the silence is loudest. But that is also when I am closest, when the work is almost complete, when the breakthrough is just on the other side of your next breath. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6 verse 9. Listen to me. This is the most important thing I will say today. If this message has touched your heart, if you feel even a flicker of hope returning, even a small shift in how you see your waiting, then I want you to do something right now. Subscribe to this channel. Not for me, for you, as a reminder that you made a decision today to stay, to trust, to wait, to believe that what is being built in you cannot be rushed. And share this message with one person. Just one. Someone you know who is also waiting. Someone who is also tired. Someone who needs to hear that they are not forgotten. Your share might be the miracle someone else has been praying for. Go ahead, subscribe, share, and then come back. I am not finished yet. Now let me speak the final words over your life in this season. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are being built, slowly, carefully, painstakingly, by a Father who knows exactly what he is doing. Every delay has been a design. Every closed door has been a protection. Every night of tears has been a watering. Every moment of silence has been a deepening. And soon, sooner than you think, though not as soon as you want, you will look back at this season and see it for what it truly was. Not a punishment, not a rejection, not a waste, but the most important building season of your entire life. What I am building in you cannot be rushed. You have asked for a breakthrough. I am giving you a foundation. You have asked for a miracle. I am giving you a character that can carry many miracles. You have asked for speed. I am giving you strength. And one day, when you are standing in the place I have been preparing for you, you will understand why it took so long. Not because I was slow, but because I was thorough. Not because I forgot you, but because I was too busy perfecting you. Not because I did not hear your prayers, but because I was answering them in a way that would last. One more step today. That is all I ask. Not a leap, not a sprint, not a solution to every problem. Just one more step. And then tomorrow, another step. And the day after, another. Step by step, day by day, trust by trust, until the day you look back and realize you have climbed an entire mountain without noticing the climb, because you were too busy holding my hand. Will you take that step with me? I am not rushing you. Do not rush yourself. I am not pressuring you. Do not pressure yourself. I am not disappointed in you. Stop being disappointed in yourself. You are exactly where you need to be, not where you want to be, but where you need to be. And that is enough for today. Rest in that. Trust in that. Build your life on that. Because what I am building in you cannot be rushed. And when it is finished, you will be amazed. Go in peace, my child. The building continues. Even now, even as you breathe, you are not waiting alone. I am building, and I never stop.